Welcome to your sleep story. I'm so glad you're here tonight. Whatever this day was, however long it felt, however much it held, it is behind you now. Completely behind you. You made it through, and that is everything. So let's begin. Before I take you anywhere tonight, I want to count you down from 10 to 1. And as I count, I want you to allow yourself to sink just a little deeper into wherever you are right now. Feel the weight of your body. Feel what is beneath you, holding you. And with each number, just let go a little more. 10. Allow your eyes to close. Gently, completely. There is nothing you need to see right now. 9. Feel your shoulders and let them drop as far as they want to go. 8. A slow breath in through the nose. 7. And all the way out. 6. Your hands. Feel them opening. Whatever you've been holding today, you can put it down now. 5. Your jaw is soft. Your face is soft. 4. Your legs are heavy, warm. 3. You're drifting, not asleep yet, but moving that way. 2. The day is behind you, completely and entirely behind you. 1. And now, tonight's sleep story, the relaxation. Before we go anywhere, I want to stay here with you for a moment. Just here, just now, because this moment, this exact moment right now, where you are lying in the quiet, deserves a little attention, a little kindness. Take a breath in for me, from the very bottom of the belly. Good, and let it go. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine that everything you were carrying today, every worry, every unfinished thought, every heavy thing is just leaving with that breath, just drifting away. You don't have to solve anything tonight. You don't have to figure anything out. You don't have to be anything other than exactly what you are right now. A person who deserves rest. A person who deserves sleep. Because you do. You really do. Whatever happened today, whatever was hard, whatever felt heavy, you made it through. You are here. And that is enough. That is more than enough. You are safe. And you are here. Bring your awareness gently to your feet now. Just notice them and allow them to soften. The toes uncurling, the arches releasing. All the small held tension of the day simply letting go. Let that softness travel upward, through the calves, through the knees, the thighs. All of it warm, all of it heavy, all of it resting now. Your lower back, your hips. Allow yourself to feel the surface beneath you taking your weight completely, fully. You don't have to hold yourself up anymore. The earth has you. The river has you. The belly soft. The chest soft. The heart beating steadily as it always has, as it always will. Your shoulders dropping, your arms heavy and warm, your hands open and still, the neck long and loose, and your face, let the jaw go. Let the forehead smooth. Let the eyes be completely still behind their lids. There you are, from the top of your head to the tips of your toes, completely soft, completely warm, completely at rest. You've done beautifully. Now, let me take you somewhere the river is wide, and the evening is soft, and the old ferryman is making his last crossing, as he has made every crossing. Slowly, carefully, with the particular attention of someone for whom this water is the whole of the work. Come with me. The river. Imagine a river. Wide, not the narrow rivers of the uplands where the water rushes and the banks are close. A lowland river, the kind that has taken its time getting here, that has collected the water of many tributaries and widened and slowed and settled into the broad, unhurried pace of a river that knows it will reach the sea. This river, the color of it in late afternoon in September, a deep greenish gray, the color of still moving deep water, the surface not rough. The river is not rough today. Some slight texture from the current beneath, the surface showing very faintly the movement that is happening under it. The banks, on both sides, the meadows of the river's floodplain. The grass here rich and green, the grass that is the gift of the river. The flooding that in spring leaves its silt, the silt that makes this grass what it is. The willows along the bank, their roots in the river's edge, their branches trailing in the water. Long, pale green, the willow's characteristic trailing form, the form that gives it its name, and its particular quality of movement in the breeze. The willows moving, very slightly, the ferry landing on the near bank, the wooden jetty low, its boards weathered silver gray, the sign, hand-painted, ferry, last crossing at 6 p.m. The ferry is not a large vessel, a flat-bottomed punt, perhaps 12 meters long, wide, stable, the kind of ferry that has been crossing rivers like this one since before there were bridges. And there is no bridge here, not for several kilometers in either direction. The river too wide, and the crossing too well established for a bridge to have seemed necessary. Dark green hull, the paint faded, the color deep and honest, the hull bearing the marks of a working life, the scrapes of the landing, the wear of the mooring rope, a small cabin at one end, for the ferryman, for the shelter that river work requires, the rain that comes without warning, the wind that cuts across wide water, the engine, small, diesel, its sound when running, a low and patient sound, the sound of an engine that does not want to be hurried. The ferry at the jetty now, waiting for the last crossing. Thomas, his name is Thomas. He is 69 years old. He has been the ferryman of this crossing for 33 years. Before him, the previous ferryman Owen, who retired, and whose position Thomas applied for and received and has held ever since. He came to it as Edvard came to the forest, not as a planned thing. He had been a river man all his life. He grew up on this river, fished it as a boy, worked on river barges as a young man. When the ferryman's position came open, he applied, because it was river work, and river work was what he did. He did not know it would become what it became. The 33 years of crossing. Every day except Sundays and public holidays, and the days when the river floods. The same river, the same banks, the same crossing, morning and evening, morning and evening. 33 years of mornings and evenings. The river his, not by ownership, by knowing. The last crossing. This is the last one. 6 o'clock. The last crossing of the day. He has already made 11 crossings today. The morning starts early, the first at 7. The crossings following their schedule through the day. The people who need to crossing when they need to. Farmers with their vehicles in the morning. School children in the afternoon. The occasional tourist who has found the ferry and wants the experience of it. The people of both banks. The people for whom this ferry is simply part of daily life. The way it has been part of daily life for the communities on both banks. For as long as the ferry has been here. The last crossing, a handful of passengers. 3. A farmer returning from the far side. His tractor already on the ferry deck, the engine of it off, the farmer beside it. A woman with a bicycle. And you. Thomas takes the mooring rope. He steps aboard. He starts the engine, casting off. The sound of the engine finding its running. Low, patient, Thomas at the tiller. He has been at this tiller for 33 years. He knows the weight of this ferry, the way it responds to the tiller, the particular way it handles in different water conditions, the way it sits differently when the river is high, the way the current affects the crossing angle. All of this knowledge in his hands, in the tiller, he casts off, the mooring rope released, the ferry free of the jetty, the river under it, and moving, very slowly at first, the engine barely pushing, the river current doing some of the work. Always the current, always that slight sideways push that Thomas compensates for without thinking. The angle of the tiller adjusted, the crossing line maintained. The far bank, ahead, the same far bank he has been heading for 33 years. Still there, still the same distance, still the willows, still the meadow beyond. The river surface, from the ferry deck, the river surface. At this hour, the low September light finding the water at an angle, the surface not flat, the slight texture of the moving water making the light do what Arthur's sea light does. Dance, not dramatically, slightly, each small ripple catching the light at its own angle. The total effect, a gentle, continuous, barely there movement of light on the river surface. The reflections, the willows on the far bank in the water, their trailing branches doubled, one set going up, one set going down. The pale sky reflected, the far bank's meadow reflected, the ferry itself reflected below, the dark hull, the small cabin, Thomas at the tiller, the 3 passengers, all of them doubled, all of them present in 2 worlds at once. the river holding both. The sound of a river crossing. The engine, low and patient. Beneath it, the water. The sound of the water around the hull as the ferry moves through it. Not dramatic. The bow wave of a slow, flat-bottomed vessel is very small, but present. The slight pushing of the water yielding, the water closing behind. The willows, in the very slight breeze, the willows on both banks, their trailing branches moving, the collective soft sound of willow leaves in a September breeze. A heron from the far bank, a gray heron taking flight as the ferry approaches. The heavy wing beats, the hoarse croak of it, the gray shape of it moving up the river, upstream, away from the ferry's approach. Then quiet, the engine, the water, the willows, and Thomas at the tiller, not speaking, simply attending, as he always attends. What Thomas knows, he knows this river the way Seamus knows his sea, the way Kenji knows his paddies. By long, faithful presence, he knows the river's levels. He can read the water and tell you what has happened upstream 3 days ago. The rain that raised the river this morning came from the hills to the north on Wednesday. He can read this in the color and the pace of the water. He knows the river's creatures, the kingfisher that nests in the bank at the third bend. He has watched it for 20 years, the same sight, the same orange flash low over the water, probably the same kingfisher's descendants. The otters, he sees them most mornings, the family of them. He thinks the same family, 3 generations of otters in his time on this river, who live in the bank below the willow, stand on the far side. He has seen them catch fish many times. He has never tired of watching them. He knows the river's moods, when it is content and when it is not, when the weather upstream is going to change the crossing before the forecast does, when to take the crossing slightly upstream to allow for the current that arrives some days from nowhere, when to trust the ferry, when to be cautious. 33 years of this river, the river his, by knowing the far bank approaching, the willows getting closer, the detail of them becoming visible, the individual branches, the way they move, the pale underside of the leaves as the breeze finds them, the jetty, the same shape as the nearbank jetty, the same weathered silver-gray boards, the same low profile, a place to arrive at, a place to come in from the river to the land. Thomas slows the engine. He brings the ferry alongside, a single rope from the bow, looped around the jetty post. The ferry still. The farmer starts his tractor, the sound of it filling the crossing for a moment. He drives off the ramp. The woman wheels her bicycle. She thanks Thomas. He nods. You step off. The land again. Solid. Still. The last return. Thomas makes the return alone. The empty ferry crossing back. No passengers. Just the river. Just the ferry. Just the engine. Just Thomas This is the crossing he values most. He would not say this to anyone. He has never said it, but it is true. The empty ferry crossing. At the end of the day, the last light on the water. No one to transport. No obligation but to cross. Just him and the river, and the closing of the day. He slows the engine more than usual. No reason to hurry. The day is done. The last passengers delivered. He can take the time the river deserves, the time the day deserves. He slows, and the river he knows so well, the river that has been his daily companion for 33 years, the river receives this, as it receives everything, simply by being what it is. Wide, patient, moving, the NEAR bank. He ties up the mooring rope around the post. He checks the rope. He always checks the rope. He turns off the engine, the sound of the engine stopping. And then the river, just the river, just the water, the willows, the meadow, the near bank, his bank, home. He stands on the jetty for a moment. He looks at the river. He does this every evening, every single evening for 33 years. The last look at the river before he goes home, not because he needs to see anything in particular, because the river deserves it. The final look, the acknowledgement. I have been here. The river has been here. We have done this together. Today, as we have done it for 33 years. He turns. He walks up the bank. He goes home. What the crossing is, a river crossing, is not simply a convenience. This is what Thomas knows and has known from his first day on this ferry. A river crossing is a passage, not in the grand, metaphorical sense, simply a passage from one side to the other, from one part of the world to another part of the world, across the water that is between. The people who cross this ferry every day, the farmer, the woman with the bicycle, the school children, the tourist. They are doing something that people have been doing at this river since the first person looked at the water and needed to be on the other side. The ferry making possible what the river made difficult. The ferry, the answer to the river's question. The river asking, "How will you cross?" The ferry answering like this, slowly, with care, one crossing at a time. Thomas answers every day, has answered for 33 years. The river asking, the ferry answering, growing still. The river is outside. The cottage is warm. Thomas has come home. He has eaten. He is in his chair that faces the window that faces the river. He can see the ferry from here, tied up for the night, dark, the river behind it, moving, always moving. If thoughts are arriving, and they probably are, because that is what minds do, they are not staying long. They come, you notice them. They go, the river takes them. The river that takes everything that is given to it. The rain, the silt, The light, the 33 years of Thomas's mornings and evenings, the river taking it and carrying it and going on, as rivers do, as rivers always have. You don't need to hold any of them. Just the cottage, just the window, just the river, just the ferry tied up for the night. Peace lives beside this river, in the ferry and the mooring rope, and the 33 years of crossings and Thomas's knowledge of every mood this water has. Tonight it is yours. Good night. You are doing so beautifully. The day is done. You were on the ferry tonight. You felt the river under the hull. You watched Thomas at the tiller, the adjustment he makes without thinking for the current. You heard the heron croak and take flight. You reached the far bank and came back. The river received you, as rivers have always received the people who come to them and trust them. With the slow current and the wide surface and the willows and the particular quality of river light that exists nowhere else. Carry it with you on the impatient days, the days when you cannot slow down and cannot find the pace that fits. Remember the ferry. Remember the engine running at its most patient speed. Remember Thomas slowing it even further on the empty return. No reason to hurry. The day is done. The last passengers delivered. Just the river, just the crossing, just the time it takes. You know the way here now. But tonight, you are already here. The river is outside. The ferry is tied. The cottage is warm. Sleep now, deeply, completely. You deserve every river-wide, willow-soft, current-carried, crossing done, evening quiet moment of this rest. Every single one. Good night. Sleep well. The river through the night. The ferry at night. The ferry tied at the jetty. Dark, the hull sitting low in the water. The same low, stable, patient sitting it has always had. The mooring rope holding. The river moving past it. The current finding the hull and passing around it. The hull in the same position it is always in at this hour. This specific position in the water, the slight angle of the mooring, the way the current pushes the bow slightly downstream, the same position, every night, for 33 years, the ferry knowing its birth, the birth knowing the ferry. Thomas has never had to think about how to tie up. The rope knows the post knows the rope, all of it settled into its arrangement, the way long-used things settle. The river at night, still moving. Of course, the river never stops. The rain that falls on the hills to the north, it reaches this river in 3 days. The rain of last Wednesday that raised the level this morning. The rain that will fall tomorrow and arrive here on Sunday. The river in continuous receipt of everything the watershed gives it. The water moving through this crossing point as it has moved through it for thousands of years. Long before the ferry, long before the jetty, long before anyone thought to cross here. The river simply moving through this landscape toward the sea, the sea that Seamus watches, the sea that Arthur paints, the sea that the canals lead to. This river eventually reaching that sea, everything connected. The rain in the hills, the river, the crossing, the sea, all one thing. The otters are out tonight. The family in the bank, below the willows stand. At night they are most active. The fish they hunt, the bream and the roach, and the perch of the river. The fish are less vigilant at night, and the otters know this. The otters moving through the water, silent, the surface barely disturbed, the occasional bubble, the occasional ripple, the otter's efficiency in water, its streamlined body, its webbed feet, its dense fur that traps air and keeps it warm, the efficiency of something that has been doing this for 40 million years. 40 million years of otters in rivers. 40 million years of this. Thomas has watched them for 33. A small window, but the otters not knowing they are watched. The river not knowing it is observed. Both simply doing what they do. In the dark, in the moving water, Thomas's sleep. Thomas goes to bed at 9. Always 9. Because the first crossing is at 7. Because the river does not wait. Because the people who need to cross need to cross. He sleeps well, the sleep of a body that has been on water all day. The physical balance that river work requires, the constant adjustment, the attention, that body is ready. It knows how to rest. He falls asleep with the sound of the river, or he cannot hear the river from his bedroom, but he knows it is there, the way Seamus knows the lighthouse is above him, the way Edmund knows the mill stream is outside, the known presence of the water, his river, going on through the night, as it always goes on. What the river takes everything. This is the nature of rivers. They receive what falls into them, or runs into them, or is deliberately put into them. They carry it. They take it to the sea. The silt from the eroding banks, the leaves of autumn, the rain, the light of every day, the reflections, the fairies' wake, 33 years of fairy wakes, each one carried downstream, each one reaching the sea eventually, the river not judging what it carries, not selecting, everything received, everything carried, everything taken toward the sea, the river's generosity, or its indifference. The two are the same in a river, everything carried, everything reaching the sea, nothing lost, only transformed, the silt becoming the delta, the leaves becoming the riverbed, the light becoming the sea. The morning, Thomas wakes before 6. He makes his tea. He looks at the river from the kitchen window. The morning light on it, different from the evening light, always different. He has been looking at this morning light for 33 years. It is never the same. He goes to the jetty. He checks the ferry, the mooring rope. He unties. He starts the engine. The sound of it, the first sound of the crossing day, river receiving the ferry again, the bow going out, the first crossing beginning, as it has always begun, the river doing what it does, the ferry doing what it does, Thomas doing what he does, the morning beginning, as it always begins, and always will, for as long as he is the ferryman, and for a long time after, when there is another ferryman, and another, and the river is still wide, and the engine is still patient, and the willows are still on both banks, and the crossing is still there for anyone who needs to be on the other side. The ferry is tied, the mooring rope is holding, the engine is off, the river is moving, the otters are out, the willows are still, the heron has settled, Thomas is asleep, the last crossing done, 11 crossings today, 33 years of crossings, all of them carried by the river to the sea, the light and the silt and the leaves, and the ferry's wakes, and you sleeping deeply, completely, peacefully, beside the river, the cottage warm, the window showing the water, the ferry dark, the willows pale, the river going on, as it always goes on. This is exactly where you should be. This is exactly what you deserve. Every river wide, willow soft, current carried, crossing done, evening quiet moment. Every single one. You are safe. You are held. You are at peace. Good night, dear friend. Sleep well. Sleep deeply. Good night.